What's up, my Century Units? It's the Centuryman here. So this is my review of Raw's War for the 6th of October 1997. This show was in Kansas City, Missouri, and this is the first Raw after Bad Blood. It starts out on a sad way when all the wrestlers on the stage, Vince announced the death of Brian Pillman. They did the 10 bell salute. Later on the show, Vince interviewing Brian Pillman's widow, Melanie. They did like a video tribute package towards the loose cannon. I'll get to those part later on in this review. This is the Brian Pillman tribute show. It's not on the same level as the Owen Hart tribute show from 1999 or the 9/11 tribute show from 2001, the Eddie Guerrero tribute show from 2005. There's one tribute show they're not going to air on the network for many reasons. The Chris Benoit tribute show from 2007. I think those tribute shows are canon. Yeah, I think they're canon. This is not a canon show because they got storylines. We'll get to, Vince interviewing Melanie and the Brian Pillman tribute video later on in this review, like I said. So, the first segment of this Raw, you had Michael Cole interviewing Shawn Michaels and DX. They're not officially called DX yet, but I'm going to call DX anyway. We're getting close. Because DX was formed on I think it was the 13th of October, I don't know. Anyway, so, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Chyna coming out. Michael Cole interviewed Shawn Michaels about his performance against The Undertaker at the first Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood. Shawn said to Michael Cole that you not got, like, a good, heartwarming welcome in the World Wrestling Federation, so, asking for a nice welcome towards Michael Cole. Michael Cole got wedged by Chyna and Triple H. They picked him up and down because, wow, Michael Cole's shorter, man. He's a bit of a short ass. Chyna's taller. I don't know. He's taller. I think they say like Chyna is around 6 feet tall, but I think she's 5'10". So anyway, so Shawn was putting himself over that he put down the dead man. He proved why I say for the last 10 years he is the best sports entertainer in the world today, and he said he's the icon. He's not those fossils, referring to like Hogan and Savage and Flair. He's the icon. He can still go. And, they said, like, the World Wrestling Federation had doubts to see Shawn Michaels, like, put down against The Undertaker, something like that, Trying to remember the promo that well, but I don't. Like I said, I don't write things down, just say things towards the heart, so anyway, he asked Triple H, is it a lie or truth? And then Triple H says, it's the absolute truth. Yes, Shawn Michaels says, who is the man? And also, what? And also, he did the Ric Flair strut because I don't know if Kansas City is a WCW place. I know Carolina is WCW territory. He said, are you the man? I think he said, yes, I am. Who is the show? No, I think he said, who is the man? Me. Who is the showstopper? Me. Who is the main event? Me. Because of his performance against The Undertaker at Bad Blood. He said, like, the Heartbreak Kid's here, The Undertaker is not here. And anyway, so he wants to show his, the performance against The Undertaker inside Hell in a Cell towards the people. And he called the people, the production team, Nimrods in the truck, and they had no look of playing the videotape. So he called like one. It said like one of them doesn't have, none of them is a brain surgeon. So he asked like Vince McMahon to ask one of his idiots in the truck to play his match with The Undertaker or against The Undertaker at Bad Blood. But instead, we got the video package of the Curtain Call incident at Madison Square Garden from 1996, the previous year. Triple H and Shawn Michaels were just joking around, just trolling, saying, "Oh, that's Diesel. He used to be a bad guy." So, and he kind of not confronting Vince, says, "You're so sensitive. Your dad was crawling over your grave or something like that." and your legacy dies. I think you made an ass of yourself. You're already ass before I made you. Blah blah blah. He didn't say blah blah blah. So anyway, careful. Yeah, he said careful, Sean. He's gonna fire you. You can tell Vince is not putting up. You can tell it's still new to people's minds at that time because at the time Scott Hall, Razor Ramon and Diesel in WCW, part of the NWO, Too Sweet. So anyway, and then you got the Hart Foundation. Um, yeah, basically Bret said to Sean and a lot of people, you don't show respect. You're looking at a person who doesn't show respect to anyone or anybody. So he called Sean, you're a disgrace of the world wrestling. No, you're a disgrace of the you're a disgrace of professional wrestling. You're degenerates. That's the reason why it's degenerate because of the name D-Generation X. So he said and also the H stands for, and he called Shawn Michaels a homo, called Triple H a homo. Triple H says oh yeah, I'm no queer, and also Bret called Sean a called him a scum. Did the what you can see looking at Triple H's face, you can see the part of the first DX video package of the entrance theme doing what anyway. So I don't remember. I make a lot of money than all three combined, referring to Triple H, Shawn Michaels in China, and you got Rick Rude. Anyway, so he said this is about this, and until you have this, you'll no longer be being the showstopper until you took this belt away from me. And he said you're not the only one to beat the Undertaker. I run both Diesel and Razor out of town. I'm gonna run both of you out of town. Challenge Triple H to a match, and and he said he ends this promo. Bret, it says I'm gonna kick your scrawny ass. That's what Sean towards the match of Survivor Series, because not towards Triple H, because Triple H is jacked up. Sean is not that, he's muscly, but he's more athletic, but not like muscly like a bodybuilding type of body. It's just what it is. So anyway, and the first time Sean ended up saying, I got two words for you, suck it. At the time, it's not over yet until you get the fan says I think when Shawn Michaels says, if you got two words for you, suck it. It's not really over yet. Says, he said to Bret, you may be making money, but you're not making money. He kind of could contradict himself. He said, he's working. He's only wrestled one match. What was it? Once a month, once a year. Blah blah blah. And because the wrestling business need HBK. You didn't burn the clique. You didn't destroy the clique. You can't contradict expansion and disruption. The clique. I think the clique is owns the business, something like that. I'm trying to remember the promos, by the way. So in the end, he ends with a Survivor Series, the clique, and the Heartbreak Kid's gonna own you, and that was it. So yeah, it was a good promo. It was a good way to kick off this Raw, this Brian Pillman tribute show Raw. So let's move on to the first match of the show. Sorry, I can't remember all the promo lines on when Sean and Triple H cut, or not Triple H, but him and Bret. I'm trying to, I got learning difficulties. Sometimes I had it, but I don't have it, so it's just what it is. So let's talk about the first match of the night. This is a lumberjack match. You got the Headbangers, Martian Thrasher taking on the Godwins, Henry and Phileas with Uncle Cletus in that corner. And then the Lumberjacks, you got the Truth Commission, you got LOD, they got a good pop because the show's in Kansas City. You got Mark Marrow, Billy Gunn. I think you got Bradshaw, I think. I'm not really sure on it. So the match is a clusterfuck. You had the Lumberjacks brawling. In the end, one of the Headbangers pinned one of the members of the Godwins for the win. Unfortunately, this is not a non-title match. I forgot to mention this. The Garmin defeat the Headbangers at Bad Blood the previous night to win the tag team titles. So moving on to the next match. The next match is Miguel Perez Jr. representing Los Boricuas taking on Mark Mero. So formerly known as Johnny B. Bad in WCW. Yeah, I think this is the start of Mark Mero's like gimmick change. He was the Wild Man in his early run in the company. What was it? 1996 he debuted. Yeah, it was 1996 by the way. With Sable, the future wife of Brock Lesnar, by the way. Anyway, so the match was just it was just filler. It was a good showcase of Mark Mero. He's doing the punches. Very underrated in my opinion. Because they're pushing Sable instead of him. Don't want to get into it. So in the end, Mark Mero hit Miguel Perez Jr. with the TKO for the win. It's a shame. I think he's very underrated in my opinion, Mark Mero, because I covered his matches in WCW. Great example of his matches with Diamond Dallas Page. It's a shame. DDP became a world champion, and Mark Mero did not. So anyway, moving on to I don't want to get into in much details of this next promo segment. You got Jim Cornette basically bashing WCW, like bashing the NWO. They're just guys who hang out back, in a club, a clubhouse up the tree. Yeah, he's basically praising guys like Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. He brings up his retirement because he injured. I think he injured his neck or something. That he put him in a retirement. And he put over Mick Foley. He just referring to as Cactus Jack, Dude Love, Mankind. Yeah, I'm bashing guys like Kevin Nash, saying like he's like staying in the company. He had his worth. He had his worth like he's staying. He's signed towards the company. That's the WWF. And he said he's can't wrestle. He does 6 moves. He's immobile. I think he said immobile. Yeah, he was bashing Kevin Nash. He was bashing Scott Hall. He's busted the ass for 10 years. Can't put people's ass in seats. He also gone and he referring to 1-2-3 Kid at 6-pack. He has his real name, Sean Waltman. He ended up going back to the company as X-Pac 1 year later, but he said like, people think he's funny because he gets strong. He threw up himself. He said, I think he's the only one that he got released of a contract of a company and go to the next one. And he also taking shots at Bischoff. Like, he said, like, the boss of WCW, he's not the boss of the NWO. You can see his title name in the credits, Anyway, so he said, like, he hangs around with stupid guys with long hair and beards, smoking cigars, riding on Harleys, showing his Johnson around, stuff like that. Why he say that, Johnson's referring to. So anyway, people want, like, wrestling fans need to show respect towards Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, and Cactus Jack. It's funny, like, okay. The reason why it's a lot to talk about. You can find on the internet. Just type in Jim Cornette WCW bashing or Raw 6th of October '97 Jim Cornette, and you probably find his promo. It's more of a shoot promo. It's funny, like he used to work in WCW. So with the Midnight Express. So anyway, so he said, yeah, he's basically he's throwing billions of money around like water. Get to I'm talking about the key points. It's really on point. It's a shoot. Because at the top, you can tell like the company is feeling pressure of WCW. I feel like it's a shoot / work. So it's just what it is. So anyway, so the next match we got Rocky Maivia taking on the British Bulldog, Davey Boy Smith. You got members of the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination around the ring. Match was okay. I think it was an okay match. They had the match. They had the rivalry 2 years later when the Rock was super over. I think it was a dog. The dog poop match. It's called. Anyway, so the match was okay. Wasn't anything a 4-star classic. It was a bit short in my opinion. It's a TV wrestling match. Anyway, so in the end, Bulldog hit The Rock with, or Rocky Maivia. He'll end up becoming The Rock, by the way. So he hit the Rock, or Rocky Maivia, whatever you call him, the running power slam for the win. And then you got this brawl between the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination. It got me thinking when I'm watching this, man, why they never did this Survivor Series match between the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination? You can tell the Domination is the third best heel faction in this faction warfare. Vince Russo. Vince Russo. You know, they're getting over. It's a shame. It's a shame they never did like this match. Hart Foundation, Nation of Domination at Survivor Series. They could do a double duty. Brett also doing the Survivor Series match and also defending the world title against Shawn. But unfortunately, didn't went in that direction for whatever reason. So the next segment, you got Vince McMahon and Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Vince wanted to ask Austin why you helped Owen Hart winning the Intercontinental Championship against Farouk at Bad Blood. Yeah, Austin says none of your business. I think his friend Vince said to Austin, you gotta make the right decision. And Austin says, you better write and make the right decision, otherwise, or you make the right decision, otherwise I'm gonna whoop your ass. Kind of friend Vince. So he said it's none of your business. I do what I want when I want. So in the bring up like the position thing, like Austin, if he signs, Vince reminds Austin that when you sign his position, like he can compete, and if he gets hurt and ends up on a wheelchair, it means you can't do nothing about it. So he's about Vince about to shake Austin's hand, trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So Austin tells Vince to put his hand into his pocket or wipe your ass with it. He says the only way he's gonna sign that petition like the reinstating petition. What I mean that he wants to challenge Owen Hart to the Intercontinental title. And spoiler alert, he end up like beating Owen for the IC title at Survivor Series. We'll get to that in a week's time. So anyway, I'm trying to reviewing these October Raws until we get to that Survivor Series in the beginning parts of November. So anyway, you say he's not gonna sign it until Vince basically has a piece of paper of him allowing Austin to face Owen Hart for the Intercontinental title. And also he said about Vince said to Austin about the doctor's certificate, if he's ready to compete, is he cleared? So he said haven't got it, and I've been to the doctors. He called Vince a jackass, and someone for I think it was a yellow flower. I think it was a daffodil or a dandelion. I don't know. It's a yellow flower. He throws some kind of yellow thing at Vince's face. Then I think he ends it. Well, that's the bottom line. And then you got the Nation of Domination members, all the members: Farouk, Karma, Future Godfather, D'Lo Brown, and Rocky Maivia. He said about he said to Austin, beratings with. He said about you got a bald head and tattoos around your arms. You don't know about Tough. Tough is like your brother. You're fighting your brother for a warmest jacket to wear to school. Tough, you're eating the color green. Farouk's is not really a good talker. That's really holding back. It's just not really in WCW and in this company, the WWF right now, the WWE. He's not really good on the mic and not really a good talker. So he said, green. Eating the color green. There is no folks to go around. Tough to see your younger sibling. Where you're waking up at Christmas, seeing your younger sibling getting a new bicycle. So anyway, your ass belonged to me. So you got involved in Nation of Domination business. And Austin says, after my legal problems and this BS between you and me, Vince, he said he wants all your, sorry piece of trash. This is not a color thing, it's not a race thing, this is kicking your ass thing. And this set up the rivalry, it set up the Austin and the Nation of Domination rivalry after Survivor Series, going up to the first ever match between, I think it's the first ever match between Rock and Austin at In Your House DX in December of that year. So, yeah, he ended up like harassing the Spanish announced commentary team, took Jerry the King Lawler's crown, kicked it towards the crowd, and that was it. You can tell Austin is going to be this star in the company. And he's gonna be the star, because the cross, in your face star, because he relates to the people. Sadly, we don't. It's a shame we don't have that in your face type of wrestler in today's product, whether it's WWE or AEW. Man, it's just what it is. I don't want to get into it. So yeah, I'll get. This is the next segment. We got Vince McMahon interviewing Brian Pillman's. I just type in I just wrote in Vince McMahon, Brian Pillman widow Melanie instead of Brian. Yeah, Vince McMahon interviewing Brian Pillman's widow Melanie about her loss towards the loose cannon. I'm gonna keep it short and simple, guys. Otherwise, this is gonna drag too long. So anyway, so Melanie, he informed the people that he had a heart attack. He had a stressed heart, and Vince said about like it might be amount of pain medication he took, most of it, and I think Melanie doesn't want to be there, so she said like a lot of athletes deal with pain medication. He's not just an athlete. He had a car accident, had the extent of injuries. Basically it might he said like it might end up with yours the next, or you. I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. I don't want to talk about it. So Vince asked Melanie about the kids, what's there going on about losing their dads. Melanie says one of them is 4 years old, doesn't understand. And Brian, that's Brian Pillman Jr., by the way, the current wrestler in AEW. He doesn't understand. He's not going to see his dad again. Brittany understand. That's Brian Pillman's daughter. She is Melanie's adoptive daughter, because Brian Pillman was married twice to a woman who took her own life, or died of I think she said died of an overdose 2 years ago. It's like, holy shit. And she it's really on the down low, because the Brittany, Brian Pillman's daughter, just not just lost. She lost a mother. Now she's just lost a father. Melanie says Brittany's screaming for 15 minutes, and I'm trying to keep it short and simple. She was crying, and I'll get to that segment, my thoughts of the segment shortly. So she was like not into it. She says she's the best. He said like Brian Pillman will remember being the best female, or the best father in the world. Lovely man. And we got the video package of Brian Pillman. And it's the first time Bellamy appeared in WWF television since the Brian Pillman Got the Gun segment in 1996. So yeah, let's talk about the video package of Brian Pillman. And also, she said like the fans she had support of the fans. Anyway, so yeah, the video package of Brian Pillman brings up like he, as a baby, had throat cancer. He had 36 operations. They told Brian Pillman, by the way, he is too small. He ended up getting a scholarship in Miami, and he ended up playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. And he ended his career in the 80s, and then he ended up going to professional wrestling. And yeah, it brings up the car crash that thought he ended his career. So I'm trying to keep it short and simple. The video package of the tribute video package was narrated by Jim Ross. So yeah, I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So my thoughts on it: I think this discussion, you can tell like she doesn't want to be there. This is the day that she's not going to see her husband ever again. And I think it's just my gut feeling. It's just WWF at the time trying to pop a rein, because feeling the pressure of WCW with the NWO, Too Sweet and the Cruiserweights, and building younger talent, building like future talent like Goldberg and Diamond Dallas Page. So anyway, I think it's just if they've done it a week ago or like a week after or 2 weeks, maybe it'd be okay. But seeing like she's uncomfortable, um, doing this interview, but yeah, it's sad. But I feel it's like one of the dark, but really the sad points of the show, the bad points of the show. I guess my overall thoughts of this Raw in the end. So, and then we got the Kane Raw debut. You got the Hardys, Matt and Jeff Hardy. They got taken out by Kane. They hit, I think they did, like Kane hit the double choke slam on Matt and Jeff Hardy, throwing them out the ring. And he basically, Paul Bearer with a mustache, first time since he shaved off the mustache in that storyline between him and the Undertaker. Says, "Call me the fat guy. You should laugh however you want. The only person you should be laughing is your phenom, the Undertaker." He's trying. He said about he wants the Undertaker, what takes him back, but he called me a liar. He slaps at me, throw a fireball in my face, and they keep showing the close. They keep showing the face of, not showing the face, kind of like closing Kane's like mask in his eyes. And Paul Bearer says, he lost his eye, blame the Undertaker, it's all your fault. And, the people shot of the Undertaker's look, seeing his brother the first time in 20 years. And he said we're gonna like take the wrestlers, destroy the wrestlers one by one until we get the Undertaker. Undertaker's on a stop on his highway of immortality or something like that. And it said, Undertaker, when you wake up at night, remember that night, welcome to your nightmare. And that was it. So I'm trying to keep it short and simple, folks. So yeah, it's good to see Kane. And this is leading up to Undertaker's match with Kane at WrestleMania 14. That'll be in March of 1998. So let's move on to the main event. So the main event, we got Bret Hart taking on Hunter Hearst Helmsley, or Triple H. I'm going to call him Triple H at this moment in time. Triple H is still wearing the you can tell he's wearing the Connecticut Blue Blood attire. You can tell he's slowly getting away from being the Connecticut Blue Blood and becoming the DX Triple H. Anyway, the match was okay-ish. What it is, you got interference by the Hart Foundation and Rick Rude. Bret trying to lock in the figure four leg lock on Triple H on the ring post. China stopped him. Bret was about to hit. Before that, you had Shawn Michaels came out ringside. He kind of wiped his face or wiped his nose onto the Canadian flag, basically bashing Canadians. Anyway, so Bret was about to hit China. In the end, Shawn hit Bret with a switching music. Triple H won this match by the count out, and that was it. So again, the match advantage going into their match at Survivor Series, and that was the end of this Raw. So. Anyway, this is a bad show overall. The bad has to be like you got filler matches like Mark Merrow versus Miguel Perez Jr., Heg Banners versus. I forgot to mention this. I forgot. There's one I'm gonna talk about anyway. So forgot to mention this. You got Owen Hart versus Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. I forgot to mention this. Oh shit. I forgot Owen Hart's in the match. So anyway, Hart comparing the Hart Foundation as Lukey's. Anyway, so Owen says, I'm glad Austin can sign. He's going to be reinstated because he thinks he's going to, Austin's planning trying to get get him disqualified. It's backfired. I want a piece of him. You can sign don't let your neck injury or signing a reinstatement form, gets to you, something like that. Anyway, the match was just, it was filler. You got the interference of the Godwins. Hart got involved, beating down both the Godwins. In the end, I think it was Phileas or Henry hit Hart with a cheap shot. Owen got the victory, and that was it, and retained the Intercontinental title. Sorry about that. I forgot to wrote it down. I wrote it down. I almost forgot to talk about it. So, yeah, I knew Owen is retaining the title on the show because he ended up dropping it to Austin at Survivor Series. So, anyway, so my final reign for Monday Night Raw for the 6th of October, 1997. I'm gonna give it this is a bad show overall, man. it's just bad. No Undertaker. You got bad matches like Headbangers versus Godwins, Owen versus Hawk, Mark Merrill versus Miguel Perez Jr. The two matches for me, they're kind of passable, but that's not saying too much. Rocky Maivia versus the British Bulldog, David Boy Smith, and Bret Hart versus The Undertaker. The promos, like DX promo from the opener, was good, and I thought the Melanie interview segment was bad because it was just it's just the company's attempt to get a rating out because still feeling the pressure of WCW in this ratings war. So yeah, Austin, another show, Kane's debut. So yeah, it was still a bad show overall. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my review of Monday Night Raw for the 6th of October 1997. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Smash the like button, click the like, click the bell. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. And this is Central Man officially signing out. Check you later, folks.